Hi. Today we're with Dyepkazah.
Diep is fine.
Diep is fine. Okay, so let's chop. Let's hold.
Yeah, you've had this mix before, but Sprite and apple.
What I want?
We've had this mix before.
Yes, I think so. Hi guys.
Wait, let's start again.
We're not starting again. Hi guys. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so yes, you've already guessed. We have a guest today on the podcast. You're listening to Dearest Diamond, a Diamond's memoir. My name is Diamond, and you're welcome. You're welcome to another episode. Today is Friday, the 22nd of July, 2022, and according to timeanddate.com, it is 14:54 p.m. Yes, and we have a guest. He's someone I've known for a really long time, and yeah, it's been amazing. Earlier today, when I was thinking about the recording session, I was just remembering how it's been a long time I've known him, so remembering how he was young and how he's now old. Not old per se, but grown. So yes, it's nice. I'll let him introduce himself, and we're actually just having a conversation. We're just gisting and recording, and we have vodka and we have Sprite, and yeah, we have drinks basically, and we have this nice playlist in the background that he curated. So yes, at the end of the day, I'll be telling you what I think about the playlist. But yeah, so we're just going to have a conversation. Enjoy yourselves, get a drink, yeah, and that's it. So Diep, I called his name. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Diep. I want to think of myself as someone who's a progressive. So I'm not going to say, this is what I do and all that. Just think about Diep the progressive, the liberal progressive. Yeah, so we can take it. Maybe in the course of the conversation, you get to know what I do and stuff. So.
Okay, Diep the progressive. That's nice. But okay, explain what you mean. Who would you say progressive person is, or a progressive is? So yeah.
Okay, so the way I look at life and way things happen around us, you find out that people are still stuck. People are afraid of unlearning some things that they even know are just maybe archaic or abstract. So when I say progressive, like I'm kind of like, I want people to be forward thinking, because that's what I do. So even if I'm forward thinking, I'm going to the wrong direction, and I realize that I'm going wrong, I try to fix it. So that's what I mean by progressive, like ever learning and stuff.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. So you're learning through life, unlearning, relearning, and I would personally, I would say I can see that, because there are certain decisions you've made that I have seen, and I'm like, especially as per where we're coming from, because we're coming from the same place. Let's
not talk like insiders now.
Yes,
because other people are going to listen.
We're coming from the same place in terms of religious background, upbringing. We're coming from a very similar place. So yes, looking at where you are now, I would definitely agree that you're Diep progressive, and it's good to see. It's really, really, really beautiful to witness. So yeah, tell me about what you do. Like I was saying, like we initially did a short recording, and then when we played back, I wanted him to hear it and see, okay, how does this sound to you? And I know, okay, for someone who has not been used to hearing their own voice, it would have been weird, but he's used to hearing his own voice. So tell me how you went from studying zoology, Abi? History. Oh, it's even history. Okay. Then that's not so far, Sha. How you went from studying history to being a journalist, yes?
Okay, yeah. I think the flair for journalism was put in there at some point in my upbringing. So I grew up in a house where my mom buys papers every other weekend. She still does it now. She's an avid reader of Punch, even if I'm not so much of a big fan of Punch right now. You understand? Yeah, so I'm not trying to trash anybody's organization, but I'm just saying that I grew up reading these newspapers, and when I finished service, an opening came up and it was like, can you write? Would you? I'm like, I did history. When you're writing anything, especially if you're trying to give an account of something, you're trying to answer some questions: where, when, what, who. That's what I did in school. Now I'm just writing something that is on the go, and so it was similar. And I've learned my writing has improved, because if I see, some days ago I was going through my university 400 level notes. I saw some and I was reading. I was just laughing like, oh, so I wrote this. Like, you get, but right now it's way better than.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's how I found myself in journalism. I want to say I'm kind of like some accidental journalist, but it has always been there, to be honest.
Okay.
There's always been that quest to tell stories in written form.
Okay. That's really nice. That's nice. Because one thing I have noticed as life has been going on is that somehow nothing we ever find ourselves in, whether mistakenly or intentionally, ever turns out badly. So I'm sure when you were asked to study history, it's probably not what you intended, right?
It's not what I wanted.
But somehow you can relate the experience you gained as a history student to what you're doing right now, and it's almost like, oh, maybe thank God you never even did any other thing else, right?
Yeah.
And that's one thing I have come to see about life. A lot of times we should just move. Like, even if it's not playing out how you thought in your head, trust me, 10, 15 years down the line, you'd say, okay, it wasn't such a bad thing after all. Most times, especially if you never get to a place where you give up, or, it just somehow plays out.
Let me to buttress your point, let me even say something. Yes, I actually like the fact that life takes you some certain routes. You might not really like it, but at the end of the day, it pays off. Some of the best journalists in Nigeria right now they didn't have anything to do. In fact, they were from outright sciences. I don't know if you followed the story of this particular journalist who went undercover, who went to jail. He put himself, I don't know whether you saw that.
I've seen it.
What did he do? Something food sciences or something like that. Yeah. And he's known, he has won awards and all that stuff. The guy who wrote that everybody started ascribing to Buhari when he says Nigerian youths are lazy. The person who broke that story, sciences too. Both of them, I've had the privilege to work with both of them. One of them has founded his own organization. The other one now works with Twitter. So, I've been blessed to interact with these people, and the journalism was not really what they wanted to do, but they're doing well now.
That's really, really good to know. See, life, as in, how, let's go back to the whole progressive thing. Every day, I just wake up and experience something different, and I'm like, life just steady keeps surprising us. Allow it. Enjoy yourself while you're at it. That's presently my logo. Just enjoy yourself while you are in the process, because one day you wake up and you'll be happy about where you are. Just believe it. You'll be happy about where you are one day when you wake up. So did you tell us your full name? I don't remember.
Okay, for the record, my government name's Dyepkazah Shiban.
Okay, and you tweet a lot now. What's your handle?
Dyepkazah, Dyepkazah.
Dyepkazah, okay. Yeah, so that's good to know. I haven't asked, but are you open to talking about family?
Oh, well, yeah, let's go.
Okay, so let's keep going. So, guys, don't forget the playlist. Jabe told me when he sent me this playlist. So, let me tell you how this whole thing happened. Yeah. After I released the other episode with the full Burna Boys playlist, so I saw a picture on WhatsApp status that Jabe posted, and it was a song. And I was like, oh, let me go listen, just out of the blues. I listened to the song and I really like it. What's the name of that particular song, sir? Help me and find it. And then I listened to the song and I liked it. So I just hit Jacob. I was like, oh, this song was nice. And he was like, oh yeah, that he has some other really nice songs. I was
out
like,
of
okay.
my mind.
How?
Out of my mind.
Out of my mind, yes. I really liked it. So when we get to that particular song, I'll tell you guys. So I was like, okay, he said he'll create a playlist, and according to him, the playlist will make me very emotional, and I was like, okay, yeah, send it. So, and it just a thought came to my mind, like, okay, so while we're listening to his curated playlist, it's on Spotify, it's called Smooth. Maybe we should record something, and yeah, that's how I got to this particular moment. And I think I'll be titling this episode Dearest Diamond, a moment with Dyepkazah. Yes, so I think that's what I'm going to title it. Yeah, so like I said, I've known Dyep since I moved to ABJ when I was in just 2, that's 2006, and our mothers attended the same church, so by proxy we all attended the same church and we grew up. So religiously speaking, we grew up with a lot of the same precepts, and we have grown to obviously be rebels, because I remember that time there was the first set of rebellious children in church.
I can see you're trying to cast me on here, but it's okay. It's like
I'm not, but I always admired how he did it smoothly. So you could not like, how would I put it? I wouldn't use the word hate, but you could not necessarily hate on him. He was who he was. Simply, it was okay if you didn't like it. It was okay if you were bothered and felt like he should be, a different person. That was how I looked at him. I just saw this person that was living peacefully and easefully through life. Yeah, of course there would have been, one or two, and he would have been growing up, obviously, because we've all experienced growth. But it was nice. It was nice seeing him. So, tell me how, for you, like where you are now, married, coming from where you are, and of course, I'm sure with the marriage process, coming from where you are, there might have been a lot of questions. Are you sure this is what you want? This is, just tell me something you learned through the process, how you went, and
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to tell your listeners. I don't think you're actually giving them the context I want you to give them, and this is it. We're from conservative homes.
I wanted you to speak comfortably, right?
Okay,
I don't want to put words in your mouth.
So when you say I'm this type of way, and based on where we're coming from, yeah, that is for more context, yeah. Yes, let's say going into marriage was a bit tough, but surprisingly it wasn't, because I was thinking my mom would say, "Are you sure you're not going to get somebody from church and everything?" But she saw that I was kind of like adamant. And honestly, she liked that. I won't lie to you. In fact, it got to a point where it felt like they were ganging up against me. You understand that kind of thing? Yeah, so it's been a learning experience. It's not been easy, even in marriage. Like, man, shout out to all of you guys that are single, because if you are ready to take that step, you should be ready. Because there are things you are going to wake up to and you're like, how did I get there? But then, what drew you to the person? You saw a particular picture, you had a picture of this person, and you wanted to live through life with that person. So I think those are one of the things that might probably keep you going. But I'll say it's been quite interesting. It was tough and easy at the same time. It was tough because I was dealing with a different background. Okay, so I'm from Kaduna State, my mom is from Edo State. I grew up not having any cultural affinities. Now I'm going to marry somebody who is from the southwest, and you know how the Yoruba people do their thing. They are deep with ceremonies, they are deep with... Okay, so my father-in-law just passed, and it's like it's because he died, he was over 80. It's going to be a party. They're going to tell me, they're literally telling me I'm going to wear 2 clothes when I get there. So yeah, I'm experiencing it's like I said, it's progressing. So as you're progressing, you're picking up all these things and you're learning. So I cannot really say that I've learned something. I'm still learning.
That's good. That's good. Do you know you are my first memory of yoga?
Oh,
Yes, you're the one. Then you say, "Oh, let's go do yoga with at that your friend." You guys used to do yoga at this estate. Yes. So you're like, whenever I think of what spiked my interest at all in the whole.
I won't lie, you're better than me. I see your videos.
Yeah. So that means you've not been practicing.
Oh, I've been lazy at it. Okay, so for me, I actually like a group. I've been thinking, I don't know, I'm looking for when I'll be able to structure my time. I've been thinking of putting that out there on Twitter. Just find like somewhere like every weekend. At least you can wake up in the morning, do your thing before you go to work. But then coming together, I like coming together. I love to bring
Community.
people. Yes, I love. You see me at my best when I'm with people. Actually. Yeah.
Okay. So like a thing where we just say, "Oh, there's this space. Come with your mats."
Come your man.
We'll probably put on a. Everybody can join to maybe just connect to whatever you want to
We can come
flow through.
Yeah, we can come with a very big jukebox and just being there. Are you stressed? Are you depressed? Are you tired? Okay, you look forward to either Saturday or Sunday or whatever date we fix, and you just come in, even if it's 2 hours. Let's just
No expectations, right? Just come as you are and flow through life.
yeah. Just
Have a moment with yourself. Yeah, that's something to think about, definitely. So we are 60 minutes in, and there's a part of the whole thing that I would really like us to get to, and that's about present day Nigeria and politics. So you asked me earlier if I was obedient, right?
yes.
So I openly campaign for Peter Obi. I don't know if I have earned the right to say I'm obedient, but I will not open my eyes and vote for any other person except there's a more credible candidate aside him. For now, I do not see a more credible candidate, and whether or not he will win or he will not win is not necessarily my thought process. I just believe that if each of us decided to do the right thing and vote for the more credible candidate, I think we would agree he is the more credible candidate. But we all know that Nigerian politics has its intricacies. In fact, politics generally has its intricacies. It's just that, yes, we will speak about politics as regards or as relating to Nigeria as it is. So, you tell me, are you obedient? Just tell me what you think about the whole thing that's going on.
So with my profession in this part of the world, you're actually not meant to openly have a leaning politically.
I noticed that with your postings, you never say anything directly.
Yes. So now the thing is this. Now this is a personal space. Yes. So you're getting to know me. So that is your listeners are getting to know me. So I can tell you that I do not really have a candidate I'm supporting. But out of everybody so far, Peter Obi seems like someone who wants to do well. But there's a but for me. And the but is this. There's some things he has done. I don't think he should be playing politics that way. Because Peter Obi is being touted as somebody who is going to do things differently. So why would you play politics the way Atiku or Tinubu is going to play? They are going to play politics. I'll give you an example. One of the examples is this. Recently, Peter Obi was in the news and he said he invested $20 million of Anambra while he was governor of Anambra State. And now the proceeds of that is now 100 million. And there were some fact checks made. We reached out to news organizations, reached out to Anambra. Soludo is the current governor. His commissioner for finance brought out this and said, yes, indeed there was an investment. It was $12 million. And now, because of the economic climate of the world and the country, because he invested in international breweries, because of that, and because of the climate situation, what he bought, the investment is worth, it's $8 or $5 million. It stands to be correct.
So it lost.
So it dropped. Now, but the most important thing in that particular story is that there was an investment. He thought about his people. As governor, he took Anambra's wealth and put it into something for the future. Commendable. But why do you have to play with figures? Why won't you give the exact figures? This is what Tinubu article will do. So this is where, and secondly, the party he is in, I do not see him. I don't think he stands a chance. Now this is it. Throughout the world, you go to the US, you go to the UK, the US were copying. They have practiced democracy for more than 100 years. It's either the Republicans or the Democrats. You go to the UK, you find either Labour or Conservative. So you find out that there are two major political parties. So you can imagine that for the 100 years that America has existed, power has only gone to either Republicans or Democrats. Now we have two formidable parties in Nigeria, APC and PDP. Why are they formidable? Why are they known? Because they have a structure. I was reading the news yesterday. Peter Obi has been repeating it. I was reading the news yesterday and he said something. He said, those poor Nigerians are the structure he needs. But we just had Ekiti election. We just have Osun election. In Ekiti, I was in Ekiti. Honestly, me and my colleague, we asked somebody, a young person, we asked the person, do you know Peter Obi? Nothing. The whole local government that covered, the whole party got only one vote. You understand? In Osun election, they even tried. They came like fourth or something. They had, the candidate there had like 2,000 plus votes, almost 3,000 votes. And Peter Obi was there for a rally. And on social media, most of the supporters are saying, no, it's not about parties, it's about candidates. It's not about parties, it's about candidates. And I'm like, how do you make your party, how do you get Nigerians to vote you if they don't know your party? Or they know your candidates? That's how it works. Atiku was on Arise this morning. And they asked him, what are the chances of the Labour Party? He said he doesn't think that Labour Party is going to win because they don't have a structure. And why is it they don't have a structure? You don't have any member in the House of Reps. You don't have any governor. How are you going to penetrate the grassroots? For me, if Peter Obi had picked PDP's ticket, that would be easy. Because there's one man in Chibok in Borno State who is a PDP member, maybe the ward chairman, and they say, Abuja has, delegates have picked Peter Obi, and it's him we are going to go with. They will fall in line straight because there's a structure from top down to the grassroots. But there are some states in this country that there's no Labour Party office. So how do you want to win an election? This is the second point. Thirdly, in Nigeria, you have the zone, the geopolitical zone with the highest number of votes is the Northwest. I'm from the Northwest. Kaduna, Kano, Katsina. In 2015, Kano gave Buhari 1.9 million votes. In Katsina gave him 1.4 million votes. My state gave him 1.1 million votes. Now, between that time and now, more people have registered. What are the plans or what is the plan of Peter Obi and his party, Labour Party, to get votes in the Northwest? Now you already have a conqueror. So who they try to form an alliance that has failed right now, who is from Kano State, and he has a cult-like following. So even in Kano State, PDP and APC are going to grapple for votes. How is Peter Obi going to get votes? I try to be pragmatic and very realistic when it comes to things. I don't put emotions. I'm trying to analyze it. Left for me, I think I'll say Peter Obi. If I had the powers, I'll say Peter Obi should have it. You understand? But we have a system that, and it might not be the best of systems. If you do not try to crack the system, you can't win. I used to tell some of my colleagues that we have conversations about this. I tell them, there are two ways. Is that you penetrate the system and manipulate it to your own advantage, or you destroy the system and bring up a new system that works. I don't see Peter Obi doing any of that. So these are my, what I say, misgivings now.
Okay, but that's very well laid out. It's a thought process, or not necessarily a thought process, but it's something for us to go back and think about. So it's not just we're supporting the better candidates, we're going to do the right thing, but does what's the likelihood of this thing coming to fruition? Well, personally, I'm sure I don't speak for everybody, but I believe that good things begin somewhere. We have people who have tried. They say the person that did electricity tried 99 times and he won, or he got it right at one point. So I feel like the uprising of Peter Obi is a start. It might not come to fusion in this election. It might not. He might not win.
Exactly.
But it's a start.
Exactly. No. So now the question is he going to endure for another 4 years, or that will be the end? Peter Obi just turned 61. Does he still want to pursue that? Is this as tenacious as Atiku and Tinubu? Do you know when Atiku first had a go at the presidency? 1993. He and Abiola were contesting for the ticket of SDP. He literally stepped down for Abiola to pick the ticket. That's how far these men have been coming. At that election, Tinubu won Senate. He was a senator in 1993. He represented Lagos Central. That's where his wife is currently representing. That's how far. So is Peter Obi going to wait it out to 2027? Because honestly, the truth is, it's almost seeming like a two-horse race for 2023. PDP and APC.
As usual.
and yes, it is usual because they are the two main political parties. These two parties have structures. Now the question is, if you want to take power, how did APC take power from PDP? They built up to like 4 political parties, came together in 2013 and said it's enough, we're going to kick PDP out, we are tired. And they were able to get the sympathy of Nigerians, and they were able to vote out President Jonathan. So,
okay. Yes, so, but all things, being equal, personally, I will still do the right thing and vote for Peter Obi if I get to vote, if I'm available or whatever. If things
you have to. You have to. You have to exercise your front. Okay, so someone like us, when they were working on the new electoral law, I am not a stakeholder, so to say, so I cannot go to a public hearing in Senate or House of Rep to say something. I'm just a journalist. I report their activities. But there's something we yearn for. They should have created a provision for early voting. Now, what early voting does, let's say the presidential poll is upper Saturday. This tomorrow Saturday, all of us who are going to be on election duty, journalists, maybe some medical people, security agents, they can go exercise their franchise. Then on election day, when the whole country is now voting, they can now function. But they didn't give us that.
So you guys don't get to vote.
So just imagine, I have my PVC right now. On election day, they might post me somewhere to say, okay, you're going to cover here. I can't vote because you can't vote anywhere. You must vote in a particular polling unit. Yes.
The new electoral law, wasn't it supposed to address that situation?
No. Okay. So I think it's a step-by-step progress. There's the feeling that things could be hacked if you're going to vote for any other way. There might be manipulation. So for now, let's try to make sure that the whole accreditation of voters and transmission of results is done electronically first before we can now explore other aspects. Yes. So that is why it's like that.
Okay. That works. There's obviously a lot of work to be done, and I'm worried because I feel like Nigeria is at its tipping point where we are is not nice. It's not looking good. It's not looking good on any grounds. Dollar as of today is 6.45, 6.30 as at this morning, and with the whole insecurity thing, with the insecurity, the inflation, everybody's like exhausted. We're at a place where you wake up and they say, oh, people escaped from prison, or there was some terrorist attack somewhere, and it's one. And okay, I was speaking to someone yesterday and she said that in her opinion, in fact, it's not a matter of her opinion, that Nigeria is at war right now as far as she's concerned, because the kinds of things that we're hearing so close to, this is not far, like we're in the capital and we're hearing some very, very scary news. We're hearing some gist that you're not only in a normal working environment, it's supposed to be very, very far from you. So it's more like we're just coasting and telling ourselves that everything is okay. It's really not. And if whoever takes, power next, if we're not certain, because as it is, these guys are not necessarily campaigning, especially our Baba Tinubu. He's not campaigning.
Well, they're not.
What I mean by campaigning,
okay.
He's not trying to come and tell us that there's no assurance that he intends to solve any of our problems. He just wants to have power, and that's what they have in common, both of them. I feel like, just like you said, Atiku has come all the way since 1993, and that's been an intention. A child that was born in 1993 is 29 years old.
Yes, that's 30 years. He has been in the game for like 30 years.
And at this point, I feel like I'm just coming to take back all I have invested. Yes, because
no, but these men are wealthy. They will never be poor again.
Obviously.
Yeah,
So, well, I just hope that whatever it is, their intention better be that Nigeria has a problem and we're trying to solve a problem, or the problem that Nigeria has problems, and we're trying to solve at least 2-3 major ones. Like, let that be an intention, not just I want power, because so far the only person who is telling us that they have good intentions towards the growth and development of this country.
To be fair, I actually feel like it might be too early to say, okay, this person doesn't really have a plan or not. Oh, last time I checked, Tinubu said they're working on a blueprint that they're going to release soon. In fact, it leaked, and they said yes, it is a document, but we're still fine-tuning. Today, Atiku was on Arise this morning, and they were interrogating his policy, what he wants to do. Peter Obi has largely talked about what he wants to do. So I feel it's for Nigerians to actually interrogate all these documents and see who is the best person. I understand that some of these guys come with like moral baggage, and that is why you go on Twitter and they're like, this one is an alleged drug lord, the other one is an alleged thief, and Peter Obi is made to look like a saint. But to be very honest with you, Peter Obi might be prudent and might not operate in their league, but they are all products of the same establishment. How far ago was Peter Obi a governor? You understand? The difference is that he tried as much as possible to make his state a viable place. He tried to bring development. But to a large extent, look at it, they are all interconnected. These men, forget me, people are fighting on social media and abusing each other because of Obi, Tinubu and Atiku. Whereas these men, if they see, they agree, they laugh, they talk. This person's birthday was, Atiku told him happy birthday. During Atiku's birthday, Peter Obi say, my leader. You understand all this thing? See, so you have to be very, very objective. Don't be carried away by emotions. If you are carried away by emotions, you will miss it. There's no reason why I'll go on social media and be insulting somebody
over their choice.
Whereas the Obi I'm supporting doesn't know me, or the Atiku you're supporting doesn't know you, or the Tinubu that you're supporting doesn't even know you, and you will probably not meet him ever. So I actually feel like, and that brings me, any opportunity I have, any little audience I have, I always try to say it. How can we get to a point where we have conversations about politics that is devoid of insults, and let's have meaningful, when we're able to have meaningful conversations, then we can now chat. Like, okay, so I actually think I might leave my Tinubu and go for Obi because of a particular, this point you're trying to make. When can we get to that stage? So most times on social media, I refrain from even talking about politics because you do insult your father, your mother, your generation, everything. So,
well, yeah, understandably. Thanks for sharing your opinions despite the circumstance, the refrains that you might have as to
yeah.
job and all that. Thank you very much. So finally, we'll talk about the playlist. They have not still played that song that I like. And
Already? Are you serious? So, are you serious? We're almost done.
so I
I
listened to it, and aside the first song, I think that first one is a very popular one.
Plum.
Yes, the one by Plum. Yes,
Sensation.
I'm not very good with names and artists. Yes, that one is a very popular song. I liked it, but I still liked the play next.
Okay, alright.
And no, the playlist did not make me emotional. It's a nice one. It's smooth, cool vibes, but not emotional. Not for me.
Okay, so if I may ask, what's so special about this song? Why did I even see this? Wait, what was I watching? I saw the song and oh, Resident Evil. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, you should see it.
Are you hearing this song? I don't know what's special about it, but I like it. There, you guys just enjoy it for a bit.
Runaway train, crawl under my skin. You know the wrong kind of medicine will make a man sick. And I hope I find my way back up from the bottom of the well.
Yeah, so I really like it. Especially, I think the whole transition to the bridge. That's like this part they just sang.
Okay, so
like,
okay, yeah, I get that the instrumental is actually nice, but I like the lyrics. The song is like a metaphor, right? Yeah. So depending on the state of mind you are when you listen to it, you might actually speak. I found it crazy when he said he's trying to make a deal with the devil. You know, literally in the whole, they say when they see somebody somebody's doing something very desperate, they say you sold yourself
to the devil. Yeah.
So no matter how desperate you get, devil doesn't care about. So I actually found that like really interesting.
Yeah, I get. It's good music to me. I had one of those, like, you know how, like, I do this thing a lot where I dance and just, you know, enjoy music and just twirl and have a very dreamy moment, something. Yeah, and the song just kind of fit into what I could use to do one of those things. I think that's why I probably resonated with it a lot.
Well, I think my favorite song on here is I don't know, planning to play. That'll be the last one, then we can decide to wrap up. Billie Eilish.
Play it now. What's the name?
When I was older.
Okay, by Billie Eilish. How did you pronounce that?
Billie Eilish.
Is that, oh really?
Eilish.
Do you know how I always pronounce it? Billie Eilish.
Well.
Alright.
Well, thank you for having me here, but I actually felt I wanted to talk longer.
You okay. It's just I do a lot of shorter episodes. Like I don't.
Yeah. So you don't have to bore people, man.
Yeah, I just try as much as possible.
But there's something I like about this. It's very original. It's very real. So you're not looking forward to cut a bit, make it look. No. It just flows like.
I want to. I'm very, for some reason. So I didn't know that about myself, but not everybody's as particular as me. I like dates. I've always liked events, so I relate particular events to dates. So birthdays are important to me. I remember people's birthdays a lot. I like numbers. If a particular thing happens that's special, I relate it to a date. I like to keep the date of it in my diary. Whenever I write, I put the date and the time, and I write. So if I ever go back, it's a moment in time for me that in this particular day, at that very moment, this is what I was doing. So yes, that's kind of, I think, how what related into. So if you listen per episode, I have according to timeanddate.com. So it's like and the name of the podcast is Diamond's Memoir. So it's like my memory. Someone 50 years down the line will listen to it and will be a part of my moments in time.
That actually brings me to something. I don't know whether I should be doing it here or I should do it off record. But let me just say, I actually feel you should have an episode soon. You can have me or any of your friends ask you the questions.
Oh, okay. I will do that. I will do that. Yes, I will. So this is your own favorite song, right? This is nice.
This is nice?
Yes.
Well, I just like it's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool, very subtle.
So, wait, do you have your PVC?
So, no, but I have done the whole registration and all that yet to pick up, yes.
So that means if you have your card, that means you're voting?
Yes. All things being equal.
Yeah.
All things being equal. Because nobody knows. Tomorrow you might just not be able to for whatever reason. So, but yeah, all things being equal, I intend to vote. Thanks for the drink, for surprising me with it. You said you're going to make a drink and I said surprise me. Yeah, so this is a good one. So Flirt Vodka Green Apple goes very well with Smooth Chapman or Sprite. Yes, you guys try it out at some point and thank Deep later.
Really?
Yes, so thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget, follow me on Dearest Diamond on Instagram, and Dyepkazah is on Twitter as Dyepkazah, right? Yeah, I got it right. Alright guys, have an amazing week and take care. Bye.